I had jaundice couple of years back when in Pune.
Hi. So, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your foundation? What exactly you work to achieve?
Yeah, hi, I'm Shyam Konnur. I'm founder of Mist LGBTQ Foundation. And our foundation works majorly in three places, which is empowering the community, creating awareness within the community as well as outside the community to the general population, and also creating safe spaces. With the current situation in India, we need to make sure that the community is safe in public. So these are three things that we work on.
Hello everyone, my name is Siddhant. I work with Mist Foundation as a project manager, and as Sham said, like we have done like research as well and consultations, and that is going to be a thing that can be used for the um, struggles with the judgments and other things. So that is a useful thing for us.
So, now let's start with the crux of the topic. What is the importance of legalizing same sex marriage? Could you share any personal anecdotes or something that you've seen your colleagues face?
Um, we are a small NGO, so I would say I will share some experience that people reach out to us for support. So a lot of time, even queer people have wish to have a family of their own. They want to live like everyone else. Queer people are not asking anything more from the society. They're asking whatever everyone else have. We want to be able to live the same way. It could be simple as going and during COVID, if we see going and attending your partner in hospital, which is not identified right now. We are not allowed to go visit our partner. It could be simple as adopting a child and having a child of our own, right? So these are simple things that marriage equality could bring. It could be as my partner got a job abroad, but I'm not recognized as his husband anymore. So how would I go? So a lot of people come to us with these problems. We have to find workarounds, turnarounds, or people have to go somewhere else to get married so that is identified, recognized. So that is a difficult thing that the community has to go through. And it's similar if someone else from other countries coming here for a job and they're a married couple outside, maybe example we take as US, a lot of time they struggle to bring their partners to the country. So they don't stay along. So it's not just a benefit of a human right, it's also an economical loss for the country if we think it in that way. So, yeah.
My thoughts are quite similar to the same thing, as I have also experienced my friends who were staying in Pune and working in Pune. Basically, both of them were from outside Pune, and one of them got job in US, but they were not legally married in India. Their relationship was around 15 to 16 years, so they had to go some other place, get married, get the certification done, and then apply for the spouse visa, and then they both could go together. And they were not in a situation like were they had to take loans to do the marriage ceremony and do all these things. And after that, going to US, they shifted there, got legally married, the documentation over there as well, as one of them had a relative who was ready to accept them as a adopted kid and get the nationality over there. And that's how they all worked it around, and currently they are well settled in US, not in India anymore.
Okay.
So just to add to this, these are two things apart from just a human right issue. We are facing losses in our economy by people coming here, and we are also losing talent. People are leaving the country and going to other country because they can live the way they want.
Right. Okay. So, do you think the refusal to grant legal recognition has played a role in how the younger generation or people that are not a part of the community look at like their perceptions, their acceptance of the community? Do you think it's played a role?
You can want to answer first this time.
So definitely it has made like an impact. Like people were not ready to accept homosexuality earlier, but right now people are trying to accept. There are people who are supporting the same-sex marriage who are not from the community, but they want this thing to happen just because their friends are gay, because their known ones are gay, their close ones are gay. And also it covers a part where it is going to help them certainly, because sometimes there are kids who if I consider someone in that case, their uncle is gay, their aunt is lesbian, so they have their own partners. So introducing to a child what they are, it becomes a difficult thing as well. So even if the parent want to accept, they can't tell it, because it's somewhere the kid also later on in his growing ages becomes a question, his they will question their ideologies in that. My mother has told me this, but in the all text around that context I see, in world it is there, but not in India for that matter. It's not there, so it becomes a trigger for that thing.
I have a little bit different view. I think it's all about upbringing. So I had a parent come to me at one of the talks and asked, "How do I explain my kids that these two have sex?" So the best part was I gave them an example with one of the. We had something in Bangalore called freeze mob, where we were educating when 377 was brought back as a criminal offense. And when we were freezing on streets, we don't know dancing, so we chose this better way to do mobs. So when we were frozen on street, this parent came and explained so nicely to the kid, beta, in Kannada, I'll tell it in English or Hindi. बेटा हमारे देश में एक आदमी दूसरे आदमी को प्यार नहीं कर सकता है, वो गलत है ना, सबको अलाउ करना चाहिए किसी से भी प्यार करने के लिए. That is why these people are protesting. So beautifully she explained. She used word love. She didn't have to use sex or any of these things. So I think there are ways we can teach our kids. It's about how we talk about it.
So do you think granting a legal recognition of same-sex marriages is going to be a milestone in teaching the children?
It's not just about children. I feel, in fact, your question asked about younger generation. I think younger generation is more accepting compared to the older ones, or even including my age group, are little bit needs that polish or needs time to understand what it is. But also I feel our country is a very leader oriented country. If you notice, my leader said this, everyone wants to do that. If you see the political environment right now, they are not thinking about what is right, what is wrong. They just want to follow their leader. So I think that is where the court will or the parliament will make change. If the law changes, you will see automatically people will start accepting it. It's wrong that I've seen that even lot of judges who gave interviews or politicians who gave interviews, they said our country is not ready. It's not the country, it's they are not ready is what I would say. So country will follow them if they accept the change. Okay. Sorry if it was too hard.
No, that was very much needed. So now July 10th, that's basically tomorrow. Can you explain the significance of the Supreme Court's decision to review these petitions that have been brought up? What's the significance? What do you think the implications are if this is successful? Or what are the implications if this is not successful?
So, see, there is not much going to change if it is not successful. We queer people will have to live the way we have been living, finding different routes to it. Maybe going abroad and marrying. Again, it's a privilege, I would say. I'm also not a person 100% for marriage equality. I would say it's a privilege and it gives a lot of benefits. But it's an easier route to get all the other benefits. So, and it's a need. There could be anti-discrimination laws coming in place as well, but then it will take a lot of time. Easiest ways to, through marriage equality, we get a lot of equality that every other person has. If we get it, what the implications are, I think it'll be one more step ahead in terms of progress for the country, not just the LGBTQIA community. There will be a lot of people who will see hope to come back to their home to stay. There will be a lot of people who will see hope and positivity in relationships. Right now there's very less positivity within queer relationships. That will change even within the community mindset and even within the people's mindset.
So let's talk a little bit about Articles 14, 15, 19 and 21. So these four articles are the basis of the argument and basically a way to reinterpret the constitution, right? So Article 14 talks about equality, 15 about discrimination, 19 about freedom of speech and expression, 21 about protection of life and personal liberty. So how do you interpret these arguments presented in support of these articles, and do you think that they're gonna have a valid basis? Like you said, you've done a lot of research on the same. So let's just dive a little bit into the legal aspects and see what the understanding is.
So definitely all these articles are correlated and interrelated. So it is going to have, like, the argument is going to be based on these 4 articles. We'll have to figure out, like, what if tomorrow it says no, like tomorrow's judgment is no, then the further thing is again back to the legislative thing, and which is not going to happen, that's for sure. Like, hopefully, if it goes through, that's well and good, but let's see how.
I like the confidence that it's not going to happen with the legislative, is what Siddhant said. No, but I think I would like to have some hopes. Politics is changing. A lot of youngsters are coming. I would like to have hopes, but it's not what I would tell what the courts did, that it is their job. I think it does not depend on any one person. I think change needs to happen everywhere. Uh, for example, what happened recently, all the laws changed. They completely removed 377 from the book.
Yeah.
And what happened in court was, because they understand law, what they did is they read down 377. They didn't remove 377, right? By reading down, men were protected if there was sexual offense against them. By removing 377, now there is no law. If a man gets raped, anyone can, there's nothing crime against it. So I think both needs to work hand in hand, the courts and legislative, to make these kind of important changes. And bringing these articles in place, if we remember the judgment in October, it says marriage is not a fundamental right, so it can wait, kind of thing, which is not true. It is a fundamental right. Like a person, what is a fundamental right? What a person basically need to in his life. Getting love from another person is a fundamental right, according to me. At least I would feel that is a fundamental right. So I think these articles hold a strong case in terms of fighting tomorrow's judgment. But of course, it's not going to change in a day. The review petition need to be accepted. There should be more hearing happening. But I feel, again, my say is both should work hand in hand. It's not one person's for any change.
Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about what happens if the judgment does not pass. So what do you think we as a community can do to support and show our advocacy for our beliefs? What can we do?
So just for this question, to bring back what Siddhant said, this is what is happening to our youngsters, losing hope on our government, like he said. So we want to make sure we build, I think we should build that hope as allies, like as a community out, coming and supporting queer people, saying that we can still fight, we will still be there. Whether tomorrow, whatever happens tomorrow, that does not have to change anyone's ideology. And we should tell the youngsters that we can continue to fight and not to lose hope. This is my saying. And what do you?
So it's like allies. How many of the petitions have been coming through outside, from the outside of community? That's a question.
That's true.
So we need that as well. So it's not just the community who is suffering out of these judgments. It's somewhere around other people, allies also suffer. So that's a thing where we can go together hand in hand and make the case more stronger. If like 80 people out of like 100 people, 80 people are for the marriage equality, and out of which only 60% are from the community and the rest 20% are from the parents or other people, then it is going to definitely make change. That 20% people who are against the marriage law, they will have to suppress somewhere, and it will happen. So that's my thing about it.
So just to add about the act, when Siddhant said, I remembered also, even during 377, it was same. A lot of the opposition petitioner were from child welfare department and things like that. So they were also, they had their own concern for petitioning. But what happened recently, by removing the whole law, you are making it more difficult for the things. Obviously, there will be opposition there because they are also scared. They are also trying to protect their community. So there should be a way where we explain that we are not suppressing someone else's rights, but we are giving someone else the right. We are not disrupting anyone's community. Your beliefs, we are letting you do what your beliefs are, but we are also not stopping someone live their way of life or their beliefs. That's how I think, as a world or a community, we should.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add? Because I think we've dived pretty much into the depth of everything. We've covered mostly everything. anything, any stories, anything?
So there are many stories, like many people who have gone abroad, got married, but still it's like they do a ceremony in India, but which is like not recognized at all. So somewhere they also feel like their families also have that hope that our children who got married abroad, maybe it is, but they have to have a legal documentation over here, because tomorrow if something happens to their kid, the parents of, suppose the parent, the kids are living other than their family house somewhere around the globe, and the person has to sign the authorization for certain surgeries or some medical legal things, the parent have to travel, the legal partner cannot. That is a most crucial, like maybe a medical surgery, a small 10-minute procedure, but the parent will have to travel. So that is going to make a very different impact if this goes through.
And what about the people who aren't in touch with their parents?
That's a different story.
That's the example. So I had maybe that's what you meant. I didn't understand. I had jaundice couple of years back when in Pune, and I lost my parents, but the hospital here was not ready to accept my partner as someone who can take care of me. So I had to finally go to Bangalore, where I have my sister, to get treated.
So you
Because
did all this while you were suffering from jaundice.
yeah, I mean, even when I flew, people were like, "Why did you let this person sit here?" Kind of a treatment. But if nobody is ready to treat, I have to take an action and
Yeah.
go. I was all yellow. I still had to travel. Things. So there are these small things which will help a queer person. Yeah.
I think a lot of people view marriage as something that is not
Definitely.
fundamental, but I think that spousal privileges are the basis of our healthcare system. A lot of legal systems. There's a lot of taxes economically. I think it's really important. So hopefully the judgment tomorrow works in the favor of the community, and hopefully there's a lot of support that we get.
Thank you.